we will be adding a flying unit that's based on a suggestion by this Russian Discord user. I guess he's not here anymore. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong, but basically this is what we're gonna add. It's gonna be a flying unit, a boss that will spawn every 10 days, and it's gonna shoot missiles to any players that it sees. So it's gonna be wreaking havoc to bases, and you have to defend against them. We're gonna show you how to do it, how to implement this enemy, and we're gonna get started. Okay, we are in our repo, and just make sure we are actually in sync. We have the latest code from the main repository, and if it's not latest, you have to like click on like this sync fork button. We already did that, so we don't have to do it anymore. Now we just open our editor, and the first thing that we need to consider is, again, finding something very similar that already exists in our code base. So for a flying unit, an enemy, the closest I can think of right away is... So a drone is something that's very similar to that, what we want to implement. So we just click on search drone, and here we go. It's showing up the files that we need to change, and we go ahead and change them. The mob type, we add a mob called, I would say, Raven. I'm just using the name Raven here because it's very similar to the StarCraft Raven unit. StarCraft to Raven, right? You see, it kind of looks similar, so why not? Raven, I mean Firebat is inspired from the StarCraft unit. Anyway, we credits drone laser. We can do that later. For now, we go to drone.js. This is the client. Okay, we need to add a client file called Raven under mobs. Raven.js. Raven. Okay, and we rename, make sure we rename this image sprite path. Go back to our search, index drone, Raven, define our constants. Since we want it to be a boss, we're gonna have more health, 1200, damage 35, range 256, status 8. Maybe it'll have more range. So instead of 8 tiles, we make it 12 tiles, 384. And have a bigger line of sight, 32 times 16, 512. And the sprite is going to be about can I see the size? 96 by 147. Okay, 96. 148. 32 times 3. Yeah, 148, that's fine. Okay, we don't need this thing. Make sure we remove the comma. And after we define the constants, we go to translations. We don't have to translate it right now. Creator, disallowed mobs. What is this? Right. Okay. This is actually being used, disallowed mobs. So you can't buy a raven from the trader. Spawn drone. Okay, so in this raid.js file, this is mostly the logic for spawning enemies during raids. And raids happen how often again? I think it's every couple days. Spawn boss. Now, okay. We can treat Raven as a boss by itself because it's gonna be a powerful enemy. We can pretty much just copy paste that, right, and say Raven. Actually, there's too much code repetition. This.boss equals data.boss. So the question is new raid. Boss create raid. Okay, what I'm trying to look for here is trying to find the source of the file that's making the Squid Lord appear. And here we see it in Mob Manager. We say that if it's survival or hardcore, on day 15, Squid Lord is spawned. Now, we want to do the same thing for Raven, right? And to do that, We add a new condition. For every 10 days, we're spawning a raven. There you go. Now we go back to our raid.js. Squidlord. And now we don't have to, do a name check here. We just say that if this variable exists, we create a mob based on the name, because this type boss can be set as either a raven or squidlord. And now that's it. We just go back. Let's just go back to the list of things that needs to be created. We were here previously, so we modified the raid logic. Now we need to add the mob to the server side. Let me just copy this, create a new file, raven.js. And as you can see, this is on the server. We did this earlier for a client, and now this is a server. Just gotta replace every instance of drone with raven. And perform attack. This is where we want to define our projectile, right? Where we want to change this to a missile. And I'm not sure if this is the right way of using this. What we can do very quickly is do a search for projectiles missile and see how we're using it in other files. We need to define weapon, yes. Source, yep. Destination, yep. Destination entity, attack target. I think this is required because the target is probably gonna move a lot and the missile will chase the target. So let me just So let's add that here to our raven. Attack target. And that should be done. We search for drone again and see if, okay, we need to add it to our index file. Raven. Okay. Now, remember we added, remember on the client, we defined the image. We need to add this image to our folder. All the folder are in the images, the client assets images folder. So we want to bring that up. Oh God. We're gonna say images, open, reveal in file explorer. Okay. And we just need to copy, downloads. Let's copy paste it here. It's now there. And we go back to client game.js, add the raven to the list of temporary assets. And now I think it should work. npm get status. Okay, npm run client. npm run server. Let's spawn the mob. Okay. It has appeared and it's shooting missiles at me. But we see that we have some error, right? So let's understand what this means. Usually when you have an error, you want to look at the very first line and trace where it's happening. We know that it's happening from missile.js at line 14. Oh no, that doesn't work. So if you open up, I'm gonna open up projectiles missile.js on server, line 14, get rotated angle. So our web, okay, I'm gonna show you how to debug this. Right, I'm gonna type chrome inspect, open dedicated DevTools, but it's kind of odd that, oh, because I'm not running it. Okay, let's do it again. All right, okay. This is very important. You want to go to Chrome Inspect every time you want to debug what's wrong on the server. Click this Open Dedicated DevTools for Node, and we can set a breakpoint every time there's an error. Let's create a colony. Let's spawn the Raven, spawn mob Raven. So an error is happening. We set a breakpoint right here. We open missile.js projectiles line 14. So we click on this breakpoint, and when it's gonna get executed, we can see that data, that weapon refers to our mob Raven, and it doesn't have this function. So what can we do? What we can do is define that function on our mob. Server base mob, define a function called get rotated angle. This.angle, okay. We know that we already have an angle. So we just need to get rotated angle. We just need to return that variable, and that hopefully should work. It should stop creating an error now. Okay, we're just gonna reload, recreate the game, spawn the mob again. And right in this breakpoint, we can see that now it's no longer defined. I mean, it's no longer undefined, and it returns a value. We can just remove that breakpoint, continue the process. What the hell? Why are you shooting there? There you go. Yeah. I'm in God mode right now, that's why I'm not getting damaged. But as you can see, once I remove the God mode, I'm getting hit by a missile. Okay, there's another problem, right? Right now it seems like the mob's not facing me at the proper direction. And in order to figure out why, we can just type drone. Let's search for drone. Drone.png. So in the PNG image, it's facing upwards. And we basically want the same thing to happen for our Raven. Right now it's facing right, so we just need to change this. There you go. Raven, replace. Oh wait. Fine. Replace it. Oh, there we go. So the width is longer than the height. We want to make sure we update our constants. The width is 148 and the height is 96. So now when we reload, spawn mob, Raven. Oh gosh. Oh well, it's attacking the escape pod, but it's not damaging it. Now it's attacking me, but it's facing the right direction, as you can see. The damage function is the key thing that we want to look at. We want to set a breakpoint to it and inspect. Okay, we set a breakpoint here. Oh no, that's not where it's. Damage. It's not there. Oh, there you go. It's this. Damage targets. Okay, so I collided with the player and it triggers. Okay, this is where the main damage happens. I guess the other path is for certain edge cases. We know missile explosive damage is 10. It's supposed to be 10 only, but I'm getting damaged by a lot more. Let's just go damage. The amount is 10. Here's what we can do. We can set a breakpoint on the damage function of player and find out where the amount is coming from. We have 10. Oh, is that it? 35. There you go. So the 35 damage happens on this function. Entity damage. Get damage of entity. Alright, so you want this to be something else. What we can do is set a breakpoint right there. And see how we can change it properly. We're gonna do a step into this function. And we can see get damage. We're gonna do another step to see. Okay. Alright, so now we know that the damage is based upon the get damage function of the entity. If we click down again, step in, and down, it's based on the stats. Constants stats. Remember earlier we defined the damage to be 35? It's based on our constants. So that's where it's coming from. We know it's coming from there, so we can just modify our constants file. In here, instead of 35, we make it, let's say 5. And the reason why I'm choosing 5 is because we know that the missile will create an explosive damage of 10. And the base damage is 5. Good. You see, it's working now, but we want 2 missiles instead of 1, and we want the missile to be appearing in these the wings of the Raven. We want it to be coming from the sides instead of the middle. Okay, I think I know what to do. We're gonna have 2 missiles. First source point is gonna be rad angle, get absolute rad angle. Angle diff equals this is gonna be angle diff in rad. Let's do 90 degrees. 90 times math times pi over 180. Second source point. I think we just need to do this. Minus and then add. Let's see if this works. Let's do this instead then. How about that? There you go. Oh my god, it works. There's a glitch. Something is definitely strange. I feel like the target is wrong. It's trying to target here instead of my player. Okay, what's the problem here? Get shoot target. I believe that these coordinates are wrong. Okay. Right now we know that the player position is at row 63 and 74. Row column. Column 74 is equivalent to 2368. Yet my X is 2680. So there's something wrong with this method. I believe a this attack target dot get X, attack target dot get Y. Okay. Okay. There you go. Now it's directly hitting me. That's it. This is good. Now let's see if it would hit this escape pod properly. Now it's attacking the escape pod, but it's not damaging it. Missile. Damage targets. It's not reaching this point. Remove. Okay. I'm just weirded out by the fact that it's not hitting anything. Mob player, okay. Okay. Alright, I think I see what's going on now. The problem is the missile is only finding mobs and players. So it couldn't find the building. So we wanna, what is this? This is missile. Missile, get collidables. Missile, get collidables. What? Okay, here. Should attack buildings. It should attack buildings, I think. Oh. We just say yes. That's what's missing. Oh wait. There you go. Create explosion, true. Okay. Raven. Now it's damaging the buildings.